Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my videos as always. I'm so grateful that you guys are watching, listening, commenting, subscribing, and just being generally kind and generous with each other and giving your time to each other. That's exactly the reason I created this community. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how we have this weird thing about obviously sharing parts of ourselves with the world, right? But sometimes what happens with us is our that person inside of our head, that sensor, is not working. Perhaps they're taking a break. Perhaps they're on lunch break. Perhaps they're eating or whatever it might be. They're tired, and sometimes that sensor doesn't go off, right? And so I'll be sitting there, and this person asks me a question, and normally, I'd kind of be able to deflect it. Usually, what I do with people is that they don't really wanna. I think they don't really care about asking me the question. They're just asking the question so that I can ask the question back to them, right? I know I'm being a little cynical that way, but really a lot of people, why they're talking is because they want to be heard. And so they know the good way to kind of start off a conversation is to ask a question. And then normally what happens is the other person asks the same question back or another question back. And then this person can speak. And basically that's what they wanted. They wanted to speak. They wanted to share. Maybe they're lonely. Maybe they have something to talk about, but they're afraid to just go into it right away. So they ask a question. And so I know that mostly about the people I hang out with. So when they do ask me a question, I'll usually just deflect it. I'll just give a brief answer, or I'll just be like, "Oh, I don't know about that. What do you think about that?" And so I'm always kind of pushing it back to them, and so they can tell me, tell me about you. Some things though really irk me. Some things really like in my head. They're like I've been thinking about it, and I've been kind of like just mulling over it, and my head is in it, and I forget that maybe it's not my turn to speak, or perhaps they don't want to like even listen to what I have to say. But I forget that because I'm not really talking to them anyways. I'm talking to myself because I'm trying to figure out why this thing irks me so much. Why am I so annoyed by this idea? That's one of the reasons I started doing so many videos, which I know you guys hate, about politics, because why was it hurting me so much? Like I literally was feeling heart pain because of all the stuff that was going on in the world, and I was pretty good. I am pretty good at cutting all that stuff out and ignoring it and not feeling empathy about it. But I felt so much empathy and I felt so sad at all this stuff. So that's why I was sharing it, not only because I wanted to share it with you guys, but also to understand why. Why is it bothering me so much, right? And so, as I said, the censor sometimes for us, or that person is telling us, don't talk about yourself because it's dangerous, because that person might use it against you, because you don't know if you trust the person, you don't know what's going to happen if you share. What if they know more about you and then they hate you, or they don't want to hang out with you anymore? Or what if they know more about you and they realize you're not as cool as they thought you were and they don't want to hang out with you anymore, or whatever it might be, right? And so, the more I think about that stuff, the more I think about all those interesting things. Oh my god, did you see that bug? Some of the bugs in this jungle are humongous. Um, and so I'm thinking about that, and I'm just this, and suddenly I'm like, I'll just spiel, like I'll just talk about all this shit that's going on in my head, and I won't be actually, as I said, talking to them, but I'm just talking in general, and I'm saying things, blah blah blah, blah, just like kind of verbal diarrhea, because I'm trying to understand my own thought processes, right? So I'm trying to understand what's going on in my head, and suddenly I'll realize that this person's just sitting there in front of me with their eyes boggled out, and they're just like, "Whoa, what just happened here, right? What just happened?" This person who never speaks, who never says anything about themselves, who never talks, who never shares their opinion, all of a sudden is spilling out all this nonsense, all of the stuff that's going on in her heart, all the stuff that's going on in her head, and a lot of times they just sit there and think, "Oh, this is out of the blue. This was not expected." And maybe they will have a conversation after that. Maybe we won't. It's not the point. The point I'm sharing, why I'm sharing this, is because I think it's necessary for us to sometimes kind of let go and share our opinions with the world without feeling persecuted for it, without feeling like, oh my god, it's going to come back and haunt me, or it's going to come back and bite me in the ass, and it's the worst thing I've ever done, and why did I do it? I know I'm not kind of following my own advice, because I know whenever I share anything about myself with the world, the real world, not on YouTube. YouTube, I find it's easier to share stuff with you guys because you guys are pretty non-judgmental, and there's a reason why I'm doing it. There's a reason I'm sharing this stuff is for the younger and newer INFJs. So I have a purpose in that, so I don't mind it. But when I'm sharing stuff in the real world with the people around me, I feel like I censor myself more. And then I do share a little bit when I am able to get over my censorship and share a little bit extra. I find myself really tiresomely kind of overanalyzing it over and over again. I'll spend the whole entire day thinking about it and wondering about it and thinking, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do it right? Should I share that? Why did I share it? Why did I do it? Why do I do these things? Blah, blah, blah. And so I'll spend the entire rest of the day thinking about it and cursing myself because I was not able to control myself and I shared something where maybe it wasn't the best idea, right? Because I don't know how that person will take it, and I don't know how it's going to come back and haunt me in the future, and will that person, look at me differently because of the stuff that I shared, or are they going to judge me because I shared this, or are they going to lose their high opinion of me if they had a high opinion of me? Am I going to propagate their low opinion of me? Are they going to realize, yeah, I was right about her, she's crazy, or something like that, So all of that stuff kind of goes in my head, and I think to myself, why did I do it? Damn it, I shouldn't have said anything, right? But the more I'm learning about this world, the more I'm realizing that I think all of this paranoia that we have about sharing things about ourselves is just paranoia. Most people actually want to know a little bit more about most people around them, and if you share a little bit about yourself, it doesn't dehumanize you. It doesn't make you a demon. It doesn't make you like the bad person or anything. In fact, I think a lot of times it, as I said, humanizes us. It makes us more relatable to the people around us. Maybe they think, oh, she's just normal. She's just as she is, as I am. She has all these insecurities and random things in her head too. She also thinks about the same things that I think about. And I've actually noticed that sometimes when I share things that are in my head, for example, I'll give you an example. I had an interview recently for a job, and I was sitting there, and normally my tendency is to hold myself back because I'm like, if I share too much about myself in an interview, they're gonna think, I don't know if we want to hire this person. So I usually hold myself back. But for some reason, I was a little bit more in a playful mood, and I was just relaxed, and I was just happy, and I was like, I'm just gonna share as much of myself as possible in this interview. And if they ask me something, I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna hide myself. I'm just gonna share who I am. Right? And so that's what I did. They asked me questions about bitcoins and cryptocurrency and just random things like that, and I shared all of it. I just kind of shared what I'm doing in my life, what my goals are, what are my plans. What am I thinking for the next 4 or 5 years? How do I want to live my life? Blah, blah, blah. Just random things that perhaps I haven't even shared with anyone else on the planet, really. And I got the job, obviously. But I got the job very quickly. In fact, I only conversed with them for maybe 10 minutes. And they didn't ask me any questions in terms of the job itself. Can you do the job? There was no questions about that. It was just about me. And after 10 minutes, the person said, I really like you. You're very genuine and you're very open, and I like the fact that you have a lot of different interests and blah, 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 and I really want you to come work for us or with us. It's actually really weird because normally when I hold myself back, the interviews last much longer. Because obviously the person maybe has this intuitive feeling that, she's holding back and they're trying to poke and prod and kind of get more stuff out of me. But this time around I was just open. I told them everything. I don't know how long I'm going to stay, but I think 2 or 3 years. I have no idea. Things move so fast in this world. But I am, as long as I'm here, I'll be loyal. Like things like that. Things that I'd normally not share. I just shared because I didn't care, maybe. Or I didn't feel that need to censor myself. Perhaps it was an intuitive thing. But that caused me to get the job that I wanted. It was my dream job. And also, it caused me to get the job in like 10 minutes, just like that. Boom. And they're like, yeah, you're nice, you're great, come work for us. Boom. And that's it. Right? And I get these lessons from the universe over and over again. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys as well. It's because I think the universe is constantly trying to tell us it's okay to share yourself with the world. It's okay to be open. It's okay to be authentic. It's okay to tell the world who you are and share yourself with the world. Even though, as INFJs, we are absolutely paranoid about sharing things about ourselves with the world. And every single time anyone tries to poke at us or pull things from us, I really get annoyed, and I actually get irritated by the person, and I run away from them because I really don't want to share myself with certain people, right? And so that person will get surprised by it because I was just asking you a question, but I get really angry about it. Like, why are you asking me questions? Do I ask me to? Stop pulling at me. Stop asking me questions. Leave me alone. La la, right? I don't know. And I know sometimes I'm thinking to myself, okay, where is this coming from? Why are you getting so angry? Why are you getting so upset by just a question? It's just a question. It's just a normal question. Everyone asks questions. Just relax, But there's this thing inside of me that's like, no, they're trying to pull things from me so they can use it against me. I have to be careful, la la. Because I guess we've spent so much time in environments where we had to be very paranoid and careful. I understand completely. But as adults, I think we have to kind of move away from that paradigm of thinking that the world is untrustworthy and the world is out to get us and the world is only asking us questions so they can use it against us. Things like that. We really have to be careful with that kind of thinking, because the more we think that way, the more we're going to live in the world like that. I believe that you live in the world that you think of in your head. So you've created a world in your head. So maybe your world is toxic and everyone hates you and everyone's going to be against you and everyone's going to use things against you. Maybe that's the world that you've created in your head. And surprise, surprise, the world that you live in is also the same world. Everyone's against you. Everyone uses things against you. Everyone's always trying to push you down, because that's the world that you've created in your head. So I'm really trying, as an INFJ, as a YouTuber, to kind of help you create a world in your head where you can trust people, that you can share yourself with the world without being paranoid, without feeling like you can be persecuted, without feeling that you can't trust them. And so when you create a world like that in your head, because I've been doing that for myself, I've noticed that the world outside myself also changes to match the world inside my head. And so my world is where I can trust people, where I can share things with the world. No one uses it against me. No one, I don't have to feel like that, even though my normal paradigm is to feel like that, to feel like I can't trust anyone. I know that I'm trying to create a world right now where I can trust people with my thoughts and processes, and no one ever uses it against me, right? And so this video is already so long. I don't know why I blabber on so much, but I hope that I've made you understand what I'm trying to say, is that I hope a little bit through the process of learning about yourself and about the world, you will be able to move to a place where you can share things about yourself with the world without feeling like you have to run away from them because you shared yourself, right? And I know we do that. We share a little bit and we're like, shit, why did I do that? And I want you guys to learn, it's okay, just relax, it's okay, nothing's going to happen, no one's going to use it against you, it's going to be all right, and you are allowed to share stuff. You're not only the bucket for someone else to share stuff with you. You are allowed to be a human being and to share your own thoughts and processes with the world. It's totally fine. You're allowed to do that. Okay. Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions at all, you can message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below. So you can email me or you can Facebook me, whatever you guys wish. Yeah, I'm always here. And if you guys have any feedback or comments, just put them down there or email me anytime. I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.